Our next speaker just had a panel on the P3 stage before, and he told there as well the start of his career. And he is the founder and co-CEO from Hirschen Group, Bernd Heusinger. But before, or besides being an entrepreneur, he as well worked as a journalist for different German newspapers, as well for TV and radio, as well being an author for theater, and as well having a book published last year. And this book was about the topic creativity, and that's as well what he's talking. Oh, you have it, you brought it, very nice. That's what he's talking about today, why creativity is the source of future business prosperity. And I'm really happy that you're here, and it's your 12 minutes.
Welcome. I'm Bernd Heusinger, one of 3 CEOs of Hirschen Group, which is a very decentralized group of consultancies, agencies, and creative businesses with 800 people in 10 cities in Middle Europe. What my talk is about is the dark clouds which are coming here over Hamburg, and I think they are coming also about the future of the economy of Germany, and also about the future of everyone, but you can do something against it. So it's basically 2 aspects. One aspect is digitalization, robotization, algorithmization, and all what that will do with our workspace, because a lot of jobs will be abolished in the next years and taken over by this guy here. So we have to prepare for this. And the other aspect, besides the robotization aspect, is this aspect where you see, of course you have saw them before, the big internet companies, which are at the end creative companies, because they always invent and they always do new stuff, and they design and they found and which are together like 2.5 times of the all German 30 big companies. And the third thing which is coming and growing are the big 3 Chinese internet companies, which are of course it's tough what they do, and it's bad what they have to do for the Chinese government in the sense of watching everybody and allowing social ratings for the government. But on the other hand, they revolutionized payment. The apps they do are all over in the society, and they are very business-wise successful. And there's one thing where I will quote one of the CEOs of these Chinese companies, and which would come strange to you that it's coming from a Chinese guy, and it's this guy, Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba. And he said, not let's teach the children more discipline or more informatics. He said, I think we should teach our kids sports, music, painting, the arts, to make sure that they are different. Everything we teach should make them different from machines. So, and that's the basic thing which I also am saying, what I'm writing in my book, Creativate euch, and what I think is very, very important for the future of our workplace and of our society. We should creativate our education system, and we should creativate ourselves. So Jack Ma, that's also Jack Ma, in a like, he was like on a musical stage there, also strange for a Chinese CEO. He's saying we have to teach qualities like independent thinking, teamwork, and care for others, which will ensure each student will be made irreplaceable. And this is also Jack Ma. And the last sentence from him, if we do not change the way we teach, 30 years from now we will be in trouble. The things we teach our children now are things from the past 200 years. It's knowledge-based. And we cannot teach our kids to compete with machines, because in that way they are smarter. So, what I'm preaching here is we have to make a creative U-turn. We have really to change education's business and politics to stay successful, and for each individual to stay to have a job and to be a successful part of our society. And that's why we came up with the noun creativation, Kreativierung in German, which means, in our definition, the social and entrepreneurial process of evolving from no creativity to zero creativity to total creativity. Total creativity for us is like where everybody in a company or in a place like this place or in his family is contributing creative ideas. Creativity, besides I was founding advertising agency, this creativity has nothing to do with advertising creativity or the painter's creativity or whatever. It's creativity of business, of having ideas for business, of evolving your business, of improving things. It's a creativity how to deal with your social life, how to interact with other people, and this broad creativity, that's what we are talking about, and we have to improve it, we have to work on it, everybody has to work on it, and specifically the systematic adoption of search for and subsequently discovery, development and celebration of creativity, innovation and thinking differently within a company and or society. So stagnation is one thing, like doing what you ever did, and the company selling the same products like ever, producing it the same way. Then there's zero creativity, just thinking, okay, how to make a more colorful flower basket. So it's more single-minded, and what we preach is the total creativity, like creativity in all senses, and like thinking of every aspect in a company, how to make it more creative, and also in society. And that's what we call creativation, which will bring for a business at the end better results, or maybe keeping the same results, but because what follows when you have a company and you're not creative, you don't change anything, you will be run over by competition. So German automotive industry, if they hadn't waked up now, they would be rolled over by Tesla and the Chinese manufacturers. Luckily, they started their creativation. Let's see if they're consequent enough. So that's a book I wrote, and in this book we have for different aspects, we have some provocative solutions, which are both symbolic, but also should be a concrete thing. We think that every company needs a chief creativation officer, whether it's the CEO himself or it's somebody who's already there. But you always have to think: is our structure the right structure? Are our products the right products? What do we do to lift the enormous knowledge and creativity of your work staff? How can we make this creativity valuable for our company? So Chief Creativation Officer is one thing. Some examples in the book. School is another thing where we say not only that we think besides the MINT, mathematics, informatics, etc., the art and sport and music must be more valuable and more must have more room and more space and more power. You should also teach the kids how to be creative, because many kids from their family, they learn if you have this problem, there's that solution, which we always did. They can very easily and quickly learn, if somebody is telling them that for every problem there are a lot of solutions, and it's fun to come up with different solutions and then have them on the table, 5 solutions, and which one is the most effective for your problem. So creativation should be also a part of school for us. And also we say there needs to be a symbol in politics that that creativity is really a very, very important aspect for the future of our country. Creativity also for the cities and the smaller governmental parts, but also for the big government, how to solve problems in a creative way and not in the same way like it was done before, just raise or lower taxes. Okay, that's these are solutions which are used 100 times and did not work all the time. Maybe there are more creative solutions, and there should be a symbol for and also some people telling that and doing that. And at the end, of course, it's all about you, because you have also to change yourself to be happy and successful in the changing digitalization environment. And so these, at the end, because only 1 minute, these are for us the most important aspects of the coming years, where a lot of simple work and stupid work also is done by algorithms and robots. Creativity and empathy will never be done by robots, and that's where we have to put all our power in, and that's why we should creativate.
Thank you very much. What a cool insights, and as well, like how not to be robotic and what makes the difference between us being human. And so, do we have any questions from you? Yeah, just let's start here. And
do you really think that robots or artificial general intelligence would never be creative or empathetic? Because from my understanding, there are already a lot of concepts of where art is being created by machines, which is hardly to distinguish for humans if it's made by a human or a robot or artificial intelligence, like in terms of paintings, music, and so on. And I think the same way with empathy, there are so much more assholes in this country that just aren't as empathetic as a well-taught AGI could be.
So for arts and music, there was a musical in London 2 years ago, which was generated by AI. There was like the successful musicals of the last 30 years were the input, storylines and melodies. And a musical was created by artificial intelligence, and it was staged on a big stage in London. And but after 2 years, 2 weeks, sorry, after 2 weeks, it was put off because people first were attracted. Oh, an AI musical, interesting, and then at the end they were bored. They said, "Oh, yeah, it's nice, but the melodies I heard and the storyline, okay, it's the same like ever." Until now, robots cannot do this disruptive step and bring in something which is not normally in, and you need to have a really a theater play which attracts people. You have to put something in, bring something in which was never brought in this context before. Just and also like a painting. Yeah, there was one painting now. a little bit for show, I think, which was at Sotheby's or so and brought 200,000 euro. But I think this was just for the attraction of being the first AI painting. I never saw an exhibition, and I'm quite into art, where there are like dozens of independently, without an artist, made AI paintings, because they can reproduce and they can make a nice pattern, but they cannot bring in a new aspect. I don't know if it's in 50 years robots can bring in new aspects, but for me it does not look like. And in the empathy, okay, you have in Japan you have robots used in old people's homes, and really they help, because people can talk to them and they are doing something and they are nice somehow, but they cannot solve the problems of the old people in general. So I think yes, AI can help and can maybe assist artists and musicians and can assist people in old people's houses and so on, but they can never replace the brains and the disruptive power of the brain.
There was a question here in the first row.
Yeah, what's your advice? I'm a CTO at t3n. What's your advice if you have so many great ideas in my head, yeah, and I'll tell them to my boss? He's not really my boss, he's two of them. And after I tell the idea and he complains. He says, yeah, but we are in a great stand now and it's better, our company is running better than even before. And after 2 years I see this idea that was in my head and I told it to him, it was on Kickstarter and it raised within 6 hours. And it was happening 5 times now.
Oh.
And what's your advice to give him this motion that he wants this to do?
So the first advice I would give is to you: do it yourself. Put it on Kickstarter. Start it. Yeah, but that's what Kickstarter is for, to get $40,000 for your idea. So of course, he has to get, your boss has to get some advice and some consultancy to open his mind and to change his structure, to get intelligent and working ideas from his staff and to accept it. Maybe he needs a psychologist, also possible, but I have no solution like for you. If you tell him that, he will fire you maybe. But I think maybe he's successful right now, but he won't be successful for the next 20 years if he is not more open-minded about that. But on the other hand, if you tried 5 times, for the 6th times, I would maybe think of another environment where you have more response on your ideas.
I think there was a question over the window still. Okay. Somebody else? We have like... Okay. A fast one.
40 seconds.
Yeah, what does the book cost? Do you have one here?
I only have this one where I painted in and so on, but it's €20 and it's yeah, you can buy it online or in the bookshop or whatever. In a nice old-fashioned bookshop, it's also available.
You might want to take a look at this one. Take a look.
Yeah, can't do it in the next 5 minutes.
So how far would you consider that disruption, and maybe some ethics of disruption should be like take place in this creativity slot?
That's a great question. Perhaps you can just go on and answering 6 minutes question round. You can just answer it next to the stage.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here and answering all our questions. Thank you very much.